microbiology. So microbiology is the science which deals with the study of microorganisms. And what do you mean microorganisms? The organisms which are unable to observe by naked eyes. Those bacteria we are unable to, or those organisms we are unable to observe by naked eyes, they are called as a microorganisms. And examples are bacteria, viruses, and the fungi, then protozoa. All these are the example of microorganisms. So these microorganisms are ubiquitous in nature. So they found in nature, they cause the contamination, they cause the disease, they cause the decay, and that's why it is very important to study these microorganisms. So in previously what happens, there are only two kingdoms, plant kingdom and animal kingdom. But by studying the intracellular structure of this organism, a third kingdom is produced for these microorganisms, and that is known as protista. So now all the microorganisms in protista. Previously either they are in animal or they are in plant kingdom. But instead of that, now we are keeping this in a protista. Again, with help of the electron microscopy, by studying the internal structure of all this cell, this protista is divided into two groups. And that one is prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. So these cells are divided into two types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So here, microorganisms, several class of living being. Based on their organization of their cellular structure, all living cells can be divided into two groups, eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. What are the example of eukaryotic cells? Animal cell, plant cell, fungi, protozoans, and algae, this algae. While the example of prokaryotic cell, there are only two examples, bacteria and blue-green algae. These are the only two examples of prokaryotic cell. Now we'll see the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. So the first characteristic is the nucleus. So nuclear membrane, it is totally absent in prokaryotic cell, while in eukaryotic cell, nuclear material is present inside the nuclear membrane. So present. The nucleolus, as nuclear membrane is absent, nucleolus is also absent in prokaryotic cell, while it is present inside the nuclear membrane in eukaryotic cell. Then the chromosomes. One and circular chromosome. Only one single chromosome is there, and that one is in circular. In case of eukaryotic cell, one or more than one chromosomes are present, and they are in linear. The arrangement is linear. Then the cell division. So binary fission, simple fission occurs in bacteria or in prokaryotic cell, and that is called as a binary fission. While in eukaryotic cell, mitosis is present. Cell division is because of mitosis. Then cytoplasm, if you study the cytoplasmic membrane, structures and composition of the cytoplasmic membrane, fluid phospholipid bilayer lacks sterol, while fluid phospholipid bilayer containing sterol. Sterols are present in eukaryotic cell while they are absent. Then function, incapable of endocytosis, phagocytosis and pinocytosis and eucytosis. But here capable of endocytosis and exocytosis. So these are the differences. Then cytoplasmic streaming, internal mobility of cytoplasm, that one is also absent in prokaryotic cell, while in eukaryotic cell, system of cytoplasmic motility, cytoplasmic streaming is present. Then mitochondria, they are absent while present in eukaryotic cell. Lysosomes, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, and vacuoles, all they are absent in bacteria or prokaryotic cell, while they are present in eukaryotic cell. Then a little difference between the sedimentation constant of ribosomes also. In ribosome, in prokaryotic, it is 70 years, while in case of eukaryotic, it is 80 years. Two subunits are there in all this, so detail will learn in when we learn the ribosomes. So these are the difference. Then in case of cell wall, so prokaryotic present and eukaryotic animal and protozoa absent, and plant and fungal algae present. Then peptidoglycan complex carbohydrate is present in the cell wall, while here cellulose or chitin generally present. And locomotory organs, organ of locomotion is Flagella in case of prokaryotic cell, while here flagella or ciliary. So these are the differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So this one is a picture of eukaryotic cell, animal cell. So in which the different parts are there, like the nucleus, nucleolus, nucleus, ribosome, vessels, endoplasmic reticulum, cytoplasm, lysosomes, mitochondria, vesicles, and like. Then this one is a picture of prokaryotic cell, bacterial cell. So much smaller and more simple than eukaryotic cell. So very small. Prokaryotes are molecules surrounded by a membrane and cell wall. They lack a true nucleus and don't have membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, etc. Golgi bodies, all they are absent. Large surface to volume ratio, so nutrient can easily rapidly reach any part of the cell interior. Now, after this difference between the prokaryotes and eukaryotes, we'll go to the size of bacteria. Unit we are using to measure the size of bacteria in bacteriology is micron. So 1 micron is equal to 1 divided by 1000 millimeter. You see the difference, how small these are. So 1 divided by 1000 millimeter, 1000 part of 1 millimeter is a 1 micron. Again, instead of micron, one more unit we are using, and that one is nanometer. Nanometer is again 1 divided by 1000 micron. 1000 part of 1 micron is 1 nanometer. To measure the size of that cell membrane and cell wall, generally this nanometer we are using. That unit is nanometer. One more unit is there, and that is 1 angstrom. So 1 angstrom is equal to 1 divided by 10 nanometer. Again, very, very small. So in general, to measure the size of bacteria, micron unit we are using. So all medically important bacteria, they are having the size, if they are cocci, 0.2 to 1.5 in diameter, micron in diameter. While if these are the rod or bacilli, that time the length is near about 3 to 5 micron. So small these are, and that's why we are unable to observe under microscope. For observation of these microorganisms, we need an instrument known as a microscope. So you are also aware about the microscope. There are two basic different, two different type of microscope: the light microscope and electron microscope. Or optical and light is same, optical or light microscope, and another one is electron microscope. In optical and light microscope, different lenses of glass we are using, and a source of light, either natural light or artificial light we are using. While in case of electron microscope, a beam of electron we are using. So this one is a picture of compound microscope, which routinely we are using, which is having the base, condenser, then the objective. 3 different type of objectives are there: low power, high power, and high immersion lens. And ocular lens, or we are calling it as a lens. Then one more type of microscope from this optical microscope is phase contrast microscope. So nowadays we are using this phase contrast microscope for the observation of spirochete and flagella, bacterial flagella, which is an organ of locomotion. So improves the contrast, make evident structure within the cell, phase difference convert to the differences in intensity of light, producing light and dark contrast in image. Then one more type of microscope sometimes we are using in our laboratory is a fluorescent microscope. In fluorescent microscope, light of high intensity source exists a fluorescent agent which in turn emits a low energy light of longer wavelength than the produce the image. So that fluorescent microscopy technique is also we are using for special purpose. So this one is a picture of fluorescent microscope. The special condenser is there, and such type of dye, the fluorescent dye we are using, either acrylamide or aminacrylate we are using for the staining this bacteria. Then one more type of microscopy is there, and that one is dark ground microscope. All these are the example of optical or light microscope. So in dark microscope, improves the contrast, reflect light used instead of transmitted light, dark field condenser, light rays falling on the objectives are reflected to the scattered onto the objective lens, and objective self-illumination against the dark background. So this one is again a ray diagram of this dark field microscope. And the last one is the electron microscope. In electron microscope, a beam of electron instead of beam of light we are using. Electron beam focused by circular electromagnets analogous to the lens in the length of the microscope. Object held in the path of the electron beam and produces an image which is focused on a screen. So for observation or for study the internal structure of this cell, generally we are using the electron microscope. So in electron microscope, these are the few techniques: the shadow staining, the negative staining, phosphotemestic acid, or freeze etching. So these are generally the techniques which we are using in electron microscopy for improvement of the contrast. Now the stain and staining reaction. So because of lack of contrast, we are unable to observe the structure, internal structure of the cell, and that's why staining of microorganism is necessary, or staining of bacteria is necessary. So what do you mean stain? So you write down the definition of stain. So stain is an organic compound which has two groups, axo and chromo, attached to the benzene ring. What is the function of axo group? Axo group attach the stain firmly to the cell, attachment. While the chromo group, what is the function of chromo group? Chromo group gives color to the cell. For example, if you are using methylene blue, it gives blue color. If you are using the magnetic green, it gives green color to the cell. So that is called as a stain. Such type of chemical compound is only called as a stain. Stain is an organic compound which has two groups, axo and chromo, attached to the benzene ring. Axo for attachment, chromo for giving color to the cell. Now this stain is again divided into different types. There are again two types, vital and supravital stain. In vital, organism may remain in live condition, but frequently we are using is the supravital staining. In supravital staining, death of the organism always occur, or bacteria always occur during the staining procedure. That supravital further divided into four different types. Number one is simple stain, or sometimes we are calling it as a monochrome stain. Mono means single, chrome means color. The method in which single chemical is used, single color is used to give color to the bacterial cell is called as monochrome stain or simple stain. For example, if you use methylene blue, all bacteria get blue color. If you use basic fetching, all get the red color. If you use malachite green, all get blue color. Only one single color we are using to give the color to the cell is called as a simple or monochrome stain. Now the one more is there, negative staining. In the name itself, the meaning is there. Negative staining method, no staining of bacteria. Only we are going to stain background. Background is stained, bacteria remain unstained. And well-known example is India ink or Nigrosin. 10% Nigrosin or India ink we are using for the staining method. Generally for the demonstration of bacterial capsule, few bacteria having the mucous material around the cell wall, that is called as capsule. For that capsule, negative staining method is used. Then in which background is stained and that bacterial organ, that capsule remain unstained, because in this India ink or Nigrosin is having the negative ions, and onto the surface of that capsule negative ions are present. That's why no attraction, repulsion is there, and it remain colorless. That this capsule will become colorless capsule. Hello, we are easily observed under the microscope. Then one more is there, impregnation staining method. So impregnation staining method in which silver impregnations we are using, or silver nitrate generally we are using. Here what happens? Few bacteria like spirochetes or organs of the organism, organs of the bacteria like flagella, they are very, very thin in size. We are unable to observe under oil immersion lens, and that's why we have to improve their size by impregnated with silver salt. So after impregnation of silver salt, the size is increased and we easily observe under the microscope. That's why this method is known as a impregnation staining method and used for the demonstration of flagella or spirochete. So this is about these three. Now the most important and frequently we are using is the differential staining method. So in name again, its meaning is there, differential. The method which differentiate bacteria into broad group. The method which differentiate bacteria into broad group is called as a differential staining method. And well-known example is Gram stain. So Gram stain divides bacteria into groups, gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria. One more example is there, acid-fast staining method. In acid-fast staining, acid-fast bacteria and non-acid-fast bacteria. So such type of classification or division generally occurs. That's why it is called as a differential staining. So we'll see detail about the Gram stain. So very important. So first time Gram stain is suggested by Christian Gram in 1884. The principle, before studying the principle, the procedure in short, I will tell you. So prepare a smear from the clinical specimens, air dry, keep onto the staining rack, and the first step is apply primary stain. Primary stain we are using is crystal violet. Crystal violet for 1 minute, time is 1 minute. Next, wash with water, tap water. Second step, apply grams iodine as a mordant. So grams iodine as a mordant for 3 minutes. So whenever any mordant is there in this procedure, the function of mordant is which fixes primary stain. Fixation, firm fixation of primary stain to the cell. After 3 minutes, wash with tap water and decolorize the smear with absolute alcohol. Decolorization with absolute alcohol. So till colorless drop oozes from the slide. Then absolute alcohol means 95%. Always the concentration of that absolute alcohol is 95%. The next step, wash with water, and the last step is apply counter stain or secondary stain, safranin for 1 minute. Wash with water, air dry, and observe under oil immersion lens by putting a drop of cedar wood oil. Here cedar wood oil we are using, and after that you observe under oil immersion lens. Why cedar wood oil we are using particularly? Because it is having the refractive index same with the glass, that is 1.5. That's why always cedar wood oil is recommended. Then few alternatives are there. Always we are using crystal violet, but if it is not available, methyl violet or junction violet is an alternative. No any alternative to grams iodine, we have to use grams iodine as a mordant. Then alcohol, always absolute alcohol we are using 95%, but if it is not available, ethanol, we are using the acetone, we are using, or aniline. Aniline or acetone generally we are using as an alternative to absolute. And the last one is a secondary stain, that is safranin. For safranin, alternative is dilute carbolfluoxin or neutral red or dilute carbolfluoxin we are using. So this is about the procedure of gram staining. Now the principle of gram staining. So why? So after observing under microscope, gram positive bacteria gets violet color. All violet color, if you observe violet color bacteria, they are gram positive. And if you observe red color, they are gram negative. So we divide in two groups. So all violet color, gram positive, red color, gram negative. So why such type of coloring is there? Why always gram positive bacteria violet in color and why gram negative or red in color? To study this, we have to study the principle of gram stain. So in principle of, whenever we are studying the principle of gram stain, 4 theories are suggested. So the first theory is acid cytoplasm theory or acid protoplasm theory. In all bacteria, the cytoplasm is acidic in nature, in both gram positive and gram negative. But it is more acidic in gram positive bacteria as compared to gram negative bacteria. So because of that, what happens? The stain is basic in nature, crystal violet, and acidic, more firm attachment in between the cytoplasm and stain. That's why they are violet in color. In case of gram negative, it is weakly bound, weakly attached, and that's why it easily decolorizes with help of alcohol, and it takes secondary color of the secondary stain, safranin, red color. That's why they are red in color. So this one is a acid cytoplasm theory. Then another one is cell wall thickness In case of gram-positive bacteria, the cell wall is thick. Peptidoglycan is more thick, and that's why because of thickness, it resists decolorization. It resists decolorization. In case of gram-negative, it is a thin layer and bilayer, easily decolorized with help of alcohol and take the color of second stain, red of saffron. Then lipid content theory. In lipid content theory, the lipid present in the cell wall of gram-negative bacteria is more. In gram-negative, it is more as compared to gram-negative or gram-positive cell wall. Whenever we are using the alcohol is a lipid dissolvent, always lipid dissolve in alcohol, and pore, P-O-R-E, pores are produced onto the cell wall. Number of pores are more on cell wall of gram-negative bacteria. That's why primary stain crystal violet comes outside with the alcohol, and it takes the second stain, that is safranin, and the gram-negative are red. The number of pores produced onto the cell wall of gram-positive bacteria is very less. That's why crystal violet remain as it is. It resists decolorization, and that's why they are violet. And the last is MG, magnesium ribonucleate theory, MGR theory, we are calling it as MGR, magnesium ribonucleate theory. MGR, magnesium ribonucleate, is only present in the cytoplasm of gram-positive bacteria. It is totally absent in the cytoplasm of gram-negative bacteria. So once it present, crystal violet, gram-cydin, and MGR, magnesium ribonucleate. So such a complex is produced, and once it produced, we are unable to decolorize it. That's why violet color remains as it is. But in case of gram-negative bacteria, MGR is absent. Only the crystal violet and gram-cydin is there. We easily decolorize with alcohol, and it takes the color of second stain, that is safranin, red color. So these four theories are there. So when you ask, always during your viva also these theories asked. So this is about gram stain. Now the next one is the next is the acid fast staining method. So in acid fast staining method, so acid fast bacteria we are using. Oh, correct side. Correct. ठीक आहे, मग 10 मिनिट हे झालं होतं ते काय त्याला ते आपण नवीन हे करायचं ना, 10 मिनिट पुढे वाढवून पाहिजे त्याला. नाही येते होतं की अपग्रेड म्हणून आलं ना काय संपून जातं ना, चालू ठेवा ना ते स्लाइड टाइम नसतं म्हणूनच मला टाइम आहे ना, ते काढा की आपण मध्येच येतो.
कसा टाइम सर वाढवायचा हे
टाइम वाढवायचं नाही होतं इथंच आपलं काय ना आपली काय मीटिंग आहे ना आपली काय होतं तेच करणार म्हणून तुम्हाला ऍडजस्टमेंट नाही करायचं
सगळं माहिती कोणत्या पण भाषांमध्ये
हे नको ना आता हे
लेक्चर फक्त अर्धा घंट्याचं असते
पण मग अर्धा तास झालं नाही ना अजून, मग हे करा ना मध्ये त्यांनी काय म्हणला आपल्याला 10 मिनिट म्हणून, मग त्याला करेक्ट स्टॉप शेअर काय
स्टॉप म्हणलं सगळं समजेल ना.
न्यूज शेअर रिझ्यूम काय का रिझ्यूम शेअर इथं आहे की काय आलं ठीक. Hello. So another method is the acid fast staining, which divides bacteria into two groups: acid fast bacteria and non-acid fast bacteria. First time this method is introduced by Ehrlich, Paul Ehrlich, and it is modified by Thiel and Nielsen. That's why we are calling it as a Jhadden staining, Thiel-Nielsen staining. So principle is high lipid content, variety of fatty acids and lipids. So mycolic acid, a layer of mycolic acid is present around the cell wall, and that is responsible for acid fastness, integrity of the cell wall. Then one more staining method is there, that is Albert staining, and that one is we are using for the demonstration of metachromatic granules, generally in the Corynebacterium diphtheria. Niger stain, Ponder stain, these are also we are using for the demonstration of this this Corynebacterium diphtheria for metachromatic granules. Then the shape of bacteria, in shape of bacteria, cocci means spherical or oval. Here you observe the coccus. Then bacilli, rod-shaped bacilli, vibrios, these are the comma-shaped bacteria. Then spirilla, rigid spiral form. Spirochete, flexible spiral form. And actinomycetes, branching or filamentous bacteria. And mycoplasma, lack of cell wall. Cell wall is absent, that's why it is a shapeless bacteria. No particular shape is there. So this is about the shape of bacteria. Then arrangement of bacteria is there. So particularly bacteria having their own different type of arrangements. If they are present in a pair, cocci in pair, they are called as a diplococci. Example is pneumococci, Nigerial this gonococci, then meningococci. They are diplococci, always present in pair. Then tetrads, group of 4 cocci is called as a tetrad. Then sarcina, sarcina is a group of 8 cocci. Then cocci in chain, if they are arranged in a chain, so they are called as a streptococci. Strepto means chain. Then if the cocci they are present in a group, like a bunch of grape, cluster, that one is called as a cluster type of arrangement. So they are staphylococci. Example is staphylococci. And the sarcina means group of 8 cocci. 8 cocci, they are sarcina. So this such type of arrangement is also important. Then in case of bacilli also, cocobacilli, bacilli or diplobacilli, bacilli present in a pair, or streptobacilli, like the Bacillus anthracis, they are present in a chain. The bacilli which is present in the chain is called as a streptobacilli, or palisadiae. This palisade type of arrangement generally occur in Mycobacterium tuberculosis. They show such type of arrangement. And one more organism is there, and the name of that organism is the Corynebacterium diphtheria again. So Corynebacterium diphtheria, it shows Chinese letter arrangement, or it is also known as cuneiform type of arrangement. So the cell attached to each other and like the resembles like the letter V, L, or X. And that's why that type of arrangement is called as a Chinese letter arrangement, and that is the morphological feature of particularly that only of that organism, that is Corynebacterium diphtheria. Then here you observe few pictures. The comma shape vibrio is a comma shape, vibrio color. Then spirilla, spirochetes. So spirochete is a flexible, elongated structure, and spirilla is rigid, small spiral structure. So these are the various shapes of the bacteria. So today we'll stop here. So in the next lecture, we'll cover the